What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
This is James Shoot.
Dwayne Johnson's Rampage.
Dang, you left out The Rock? Is he now just Dwayne Johnson? Is he no longer the electrifying, kiss-stealing, wheeling-dealing Rock?
He's left that. That's his past.
No. The Rock will always be The Rock.
Yeah.
Rampage. We talked a little bit about this last week. I remember playing the game. Well, I don't know if it was like the original Rampage, which
it was in the movie, the background.
Yeah. Which was a little bit like almost wink wink. But arcade game originally. I played on the N64. I don't know if it was the arcade game or if it was like another edition or whatever. But I mean, I'm familiar. I played the game once or twice in my childhood. You said you played it a lot.
I played it the arcade.
The arcade. You got down.
Neo Geo. Neo Geo.
Neo Geo. So now we have a full movie. Brady Peyton, who brought us The Rock in San Andreas, and now we have him.
Which I enjoyed.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. And now we have Rampage. So we just got out. What did you think?
You know, The Rock, it appears, just can't do wrong. We had Jumanji, and I was so blown away by Jumanji, and then in this movie too, I had a lot of fun. I think it's they don't take itself too serious. They go nuts. The animals were cool. The only thing that I'm surprised they didn't do was some type of scene that looked like it was just out of the video game, where George was like climbing up the building.
Yeah, there was a lot of climbing, but not like one that replicated.
Like the video games. I thought that would. I was. For sure, that was going to be a
Especially
scene.
once they actually put the video game in the movie, you were just like, all right.
I was like, for sure, that's going to be the movie, and it wasn't. So I was really surprised by that. Overall, though, I had a lot of fun. It's not going to be a movie that's a game changer. I like Jumanji better. It's more fun. But overall, I enjoyed the movie a lot. It was a lot of fun. I don't really have much to say.
I don't necessarily agree. I didn't like dislike this. No, that's not true. I think the problem is that the first like 90 minutes of the movie, it's probably a little too long. Maybe the first hour and 10 minutes of the movie just don't do anything for me. I mean, I think you kind of what you're expecting out of Rampage comes in the final 20-30 minute sequence when we're in Chicago. But I think this movie really just cared way too much about the science and the experiments and all the stuff that just kind of all these things that brought it together. You know, it brings me back to last week's Quiet Place, a movie that just put you in the world and said, this is what it is, let's go with it. This movie has so much background to it, and so much where I disagree, where like the ending in it, there are definitely times where it doesn't seem to take itself seriously, but that's an area where it does. And I think like the villains of the film are a major flaw. Like they're just
the villains were annoying as heck. They're horrible.
And I think that some of the performances were annoying.
Horrible.
I think that some of the performances weren't very good.
The brother, horrible.
It was funny, at the very beginning there were a few times when I thought the CGI was pretty questionable, but I understand why, because literally they saved all their budget for that final 20-minute sequence. But there is some times where you're just kind of like, oh. I mean, yes, of course, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is fine, and seeing him along George is nice, but I think that kind of really runs out pretty quick. And George is in the first 15 minutes pretty solid, and then kind of all the monsters aren't really around until the final closing sequence. We're kind of just stuck with The Rock and trying to figure out all these things, and we're and I think that's where the movie kind of loses its heat. I think there is some really big saving grace in the last 20 minutes. I think it'll allow people to leave happier than when they were throughout the entire movie. But I think looking back, there's not much meat here or things that are very memorable. I think you ask someone how they feel in that before that last final sequence in Chicago, they're not too excited about it. I think it's really just kind of missing all the things that we want. Granted, I know that's hard to make a 90-minute movie out of, but at the same time, they made a 90-minute movie about Battleship, which also wasn't good, but there's things to do. And you know, I like the space sequence at the very beginning. It set this very serious tone, but then it was kind of ridiculous, and it just didn't know how to blend itself well enough, I think, between taking itself seriously and not.
They were the mustache twirling villain.
Yeah, the villains are rough, and then that kind of irked me too. Well, that's a spoiler, so I won't get into that. But how that whole thing kind of came to resolution was kind of annoying too. And they didn't really look like how they looked on the video game either, right? I mean, I don't remember if George was white.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, remember that video game was freaking...
Oh, yeah, of course.
8 megapixel.
Yeah. Well, see, when I played it, I don't remember if it was like that old.
Oh, but then again, I never played it on systems like you guys either.
Yeah.
I played it on that arcade game.
See, I
didn't even play it regularly. It was just when I was usually in, like, Boulder Station, or Mary Kay's didn't have it, or, like, it was always a casino arcade that had that game.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, I was trying to remember, because I haven't looked back at the game since, and I was trying to think about what they actually look like. I mean, I think George was fine. I think George is definitely the most likable character in the movie. Him with The Rock, of course, is good, but all the other monsters I don't think really do anything for me, and I don't really know where we were going. I think the movie, Brad Peyton is cleverly trying to tell us that maybe because obviously this movie is very anti-poaching, and this movie is kind of making a statement about about hunters and how we treat animals, and I think the long run is that Rampage really is a PSA that tells you, let's not hurt these animals, let's save them, because one day they might be what saves us. And I find that sentiment very nice, but I don't think this movie really executes it.
What about that scene with Baby George? That was so sad.
Baby, it is sad, and I think it's supposed to be sad. You know, I think almost a little bit too like manipulative. Like, of course, like that's the situation we find George. But you know, I mean, no, it is touching. And George, of course, is a very, you know, they're very detailed with his eyes. Him being an albino, but having blue eyes makes him even more of a sympathetic and attractive character. But I mean, everything else in the movie I think is very forgettable. I mean, beyond that 20 minutes, and even that was kind of a little bit all over the place at times. And yeah, it was fine. I didn't hate it. I didn't really care for it though either. I think it's a movie that I'll forget about pretty soon.
Fair enough.
It's a bummer.
In 7 days.
But don't worry, I have Skyscraper coming up, so maybe he'll get me on round 2.
Hey, because Jumanji was last year. It just feels like it was this year.
December. It was like very end of the year.
So I can't count that. So this is his first movie, and then we do have Skyscraper, which again to me looks entertaining for me.
Yes. A play on Die Hard.
Oh really?
Well, it seems like it. You know, being in the tower, being trapped, having to beat the bad guys.
Understood.
It's very much in the terms of Die Hard.
But I like him better than Bruce Willis.
You? Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd probably have to agree with that. Especially now hearing all the stuff about Bruce Willis too. But
7 days. Next week, Thursday.
I Feel Pretty. Amy Schumer comedy.
It looks great.
Yeah.
It looks like a very positive, motivational movie that a guy like me would like.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe.
Is that all we got?
Yeah.
Okay, and then after that, isn't there a kind of a big movie?
There might be.
It has those one characters.
Oh yeah, the guy the big movie this year. What was it? Black Panther. He's gonna be in it.
He is gonna be in it.
If I could think of the name, Justice
League.
You wish. Marvel's The
Civil
Avengers, Civil War, Infinity War, not Civil War, the big movie of the year.
And tickets are on sale right now. You need to text us so we can get you in on that.
Yeah, or leave a comment below, because we want to make sure you're here in our private theater, because it is going to be a great experience. I mean, let me tell you, every time we've had these big movies, it is such a great response from the audiences. We all have a great time.
Yeah.
Shu's usually there doing a giveaway, talking about some fun stuff when he's before the movie begins, and it's always a really, really good time. So make sure to be there next week.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah.
I Feel Pretty next week.
I Feel Pretty.
Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer.
ChaseTheCinema.com.
Film Lovers website.